Yeah, yeah. Hello, dear students. Now let me continue the next topic from electromagnetic induction. So before going to that, so let me recall that what I covered in the last class. So anyhow, you know Lenz law. So according to Lenz law, the direction of induced current, which is always opposes the cause producing it. Of course, that induced current is possible because of induced EMF. Okay, so induced EMF produces induced current. That current has to oppose the cause. Okay, so induced current always opposes the magnetic flux. Okay, and you know how to identify the direction of induced current. So Faraday law gives the magnitude of induced current, but Lenz law gives the direction of induced current. Okay, polarity of induced EMF and direction of induced current. And we know two laws of Faraday's of electromagnetic induction, that is first law and second law. According to Faraday's first law of electromagnetic induction, whenever magnetic flux linked with the coil changes, an EMF is induced in the coil. Okay, and induced current will flow. Okay, if it is a closed coil, then induced current will flow. And according to second law, the EMF induced in a coil is always equals to the negative rate of change of magnetic flux. And of course I covered magnetic flux, and we know how to identify the direction of induced current. Okay, now let me continue some problems which are based on induced current and induced EMF. Okay, and we are going to identify the direction of induced current also. Okay, let me give some problems in a shortcut way. So take these problems now. So let me write problem here. So find induced current in the function of time t as shown in figure. Let us see, this is visible. Yeah, t as shown in figure. See, anyhow they given the diagram like this. They given a long straight wire, infinite straight wire, which carries current, and that is varies with I naught t square, and at a distance a some coil is placed whose radius is r, resistance is r ohm, and this r which is less than a. See, they given this question. See, target is to find out current, induced current. Of course we can identify the direction of induced current in the loop. We can identify the direction of induced current also by using Lenz law. So target is we have to find induced current in the function of time t that is shown in figure. So in a figure they given a long straight wire, an infinite straight wire carries current I, which varies with I naught t square. That current is varying. No doubt this current is increasing because I naught t square current is increasing with respect to time, and at a distance of a some circular coil is placed whose radius is r, whose resistance is r ohm. So they given this one. Now we need to find induced current. So induced current, nothing but induced EMF by resistance. EMF, nothing but d pi by dt. Okay, so see how I am going to extend. Anyhow, due to this current, anyhow this current is increasing. This current is increasing. Due to this current, there will be a magnetic field here. There will be a magnetic field, no doubt, that is inward. Due to this current, there will be a magnetic field into the board. Just to recall the previous chapter. So the magnetic field due to straight wire is mu naught I by 2 pi r. So the magnetic field at the center of this coil is mu naught I by 2 pi a, because a is the distance. Magnetic field is clear. So let me write the magnetic field due to the straight wire. So magnetic field due to the straight wire is mu naught I by 2 pi a, that is into the board. Okay, into the board. Now indirectly coil is subjected to the inward field that is increasing with respect to time. Okay, and flux means we know flux nothing but BA, field is in, area also in, so BA cos theta, theta 0, so BA, so flux is equals to BA. So what is B here? Mu naught I by 2 pi A, area of that coil. So area of the coil is pi r square. So this is the flux. But we have to find I. Okay. To find I, we know I is equals to E by R. So I am going to find EMF. So EMF is equals to d pi by dt. Okay. So EMF is d by dt of pi. What is pi? Mu naught I r square by 2a. So substitute this I value, I as I naught t square. So EMF is equals to d by dt of, let me take the magnitude. So d by dt of mu naught, what is I naught t square. So I naught t square r square by 2a. So mu naught I naught r square 2a constant, just apply the derivative for t. T square derivative is 2t. So EMF is equals to mu naught I naught r square 2t by 2a. So EMF is equals to mu naught I naught r square t by a. So this is EMF. But they are asking to find current. So induced current nothing but induced EMF by resistance. So I is equals to mu naught I naught r square t a and r. So this is the current in a function of time. Okay, so mu naught I naught r square t by a r. A is the distance from here to here. Okay, and see, so this is the induced current, magnitude of induced current. Now let us identify the direction by using Lenz's law. You try to identify the direction. So how to identify the direction? See here, this coil is in increasing magnetic field. So the magnetic field is increasing because current is varying. Current is varying, magnetic field is increasing, flux increasing, flux changing, increasing. This will produce some induced current. Induced current. This current has to decrease this B. This induced current has to oppose the cause. Induced current has to decrease this magnetic flux. So how the decrease? Magnetic field is decreases, flux decreases. That means if I put arrow mark like this, anti-clockwise, then it will create some outward magnetic field. If I put arrow mark clockwise, again that will create some inward magnetic field. So the field is increases, wrong. So the field has to decrease by the induced current. So the direction of the induced current is anti-clockwise. Direction of induced current is anti-clockwise. Just to recall the last class and identify the direction. Okay, take this. Now let me give one more question. Let me solve one more problem. So see the next one, same question pattern is same. Find current I in the function of time as shown in figure. But I am going to change the diagram. See the given diagram like this. They given an infinite straight wire. which carries current I is equals to I naught T square again, but they given the loop whose length is given L and this distance is given A. Yeah, they given this diagram. You try this one. Yeah. So again we have to find current in the function of time as shown in figure. Of course we can identify the direction of induced current also by using Lenz law. See here, to find this, again due to this there will be a current. Okay, if otherwise if it is a perfect square, if all the sides are same, just you can use the magnetic field formula like in a previous chapter we learned B is equal to mu naught I by 4 pi d sin alpha plus sin beta. Otherwise, see, to solve this type of questions, okay, you can go for the some symmetry. This is some symmetry. So, at a distance of something x, you take the small element. Let us take the small element here. Small element whose thickness is dx. So, at a distance of x, you take the small element, and area of this coil becomes dA, which is equivalent to L into dx. Length into this thickness. Okay, so all are same. So dA becomes L into dx. Okay, and see here they are asking to find again current. Okay, now let me write due to this straight wire at a distance of x. So field at a distance of x is very clear, mu naught I by again how much now, same 2 pi a. Field is same at a distance of x, it becomes x. And flux we can write it as, okay, flux we can write it as d pi, which is equivalent to b into dA. Okay, small flux, due to the small part there will be a small flux, so d pi is equals to b into dA. So d pi, which is equivalent to mu naught I by 2 pi x, dA becomes L into dx. dA becomes L into dx. Now apply the integration with some proper limits, you will get the flux. Once we got the flux, then we can find EMF, and by using EMF we can find induced current. Extend and take the limits. Starting limit is A, ending limit is A plus L. A plus L. Now I got the flux. Flux is equals to, take mu naught I L outside, 2 pi outside, integration of A plus L 1 by x dx. So 1 by x dx is log x, and substitute the values, substitute upper limit and lower limit. Now the flux becomes, I am finding flux, okay, mu naught I L, okay, I is there, I naught T square, that I will substitute later, 2 pi, this becomes log of A plus L by A. Okay, so I got log A plus L minus log A, so log of A plus L by A plus A. Just apply the integrations. So I got the flux, and this I we can write it as, okay, so let me find EMF, d pi by dt. We continue, d pi by dt. So d by dt of, except I remaining all are constant, you can write outside. So mu naught L 2 pi log of A plus L by A d by dt of I. d by dt of I. What is I? I naught T square. I naught T square. I naught also constant, T square. So I naught also you can write outside. Okay. Now let me write current. Current nothing but EMF by resistance. Okay. R is the resistance of this loop. So EMF by resistance, EMF is this. So mu naught L, take this I naught outside, I naught by 2 pi log of a plus L by a, and derivative of this one is 2t, and this resistance is there R. So induced current in a function of time is mu naught I naught L t by pi R ln or log a plus L by a. So this is the required answer for this question. Just to extend, apply the integration, you will get the answers. Okay. See, again you can identify the direction of the induced current in this loop. Again, direction of induced current in the loop is anti-clockwise. Just you check it by using Lenz law. So direction of induced current is anti-clockwise because this is in an increasing magnetic field and that field is into the board. So that field has to decrease. How it is going to decrease? If we put arrow mark in anti-clockwise, then that field becomes decreases. So that is the Lenz law. Okay, the direction of induced current is always opposite to the change in magnetic flux. Okay. Now see the next question. Yeah. So see the next one. So next question also. Next again I am going to write the question here. Find the average induced EMF. So write down, find the average induced EMF in a coil if it rotates 60 degrees in just 0.2 seconds or 0.1 whatever 0.2 seconds as shown in figure. Okay, so they given the diagram like this. So this is also easy question. They given inward magnetic field and radius is R. They given resistance is R ohm. Okay, so they given this. Try to find average induced EMF in a coil if coil has to rotate 60 degrees in 0.2 seconds. Okay, so initially the plane of the coil is normal to the magnetic field. See, the magnetic field is into the board. Initially the coil is looks like this for you. So the field lines are entering into the board. Field lines are entering into the board. Plane of the coil is normal to the magnetic lines of forces. Later the coil rotates some 60 degrees in any direction. So initially the coil is looks like this. So the coil is like this. So the field lines are moving into the board. Later the coil rotates by 60 degrees. Let us check it. Identify the first flux. What is initial flux? What is the initial flux? Pi initial, starting flux. Initially the plane of the coil is normal to the the plane of the coil is normal to the magnetic field. So B A cos 0. See the plane of the coil normal to the magnetic field. Area is into the board, field is into the board. Angle between B and A is 0, cos 0. So initial flux, directly we can write initial flux is B pi r square. Okay. Now let me write the final flux when it rotates. When it rotates through some 60 degrees, when it rotates through some 60 degrees in any direction, maybe clockwise, anti-clockwise, okay, in one direction, any one direction. So the final flux BA cos 60 degrees. Once the coil rotates, see, this is the plane of the coil. If the coil rotates some 60 degrees, area vector also rotates some 60 degrees. Okay, now the area is towards you or into the board. If the coil rotates, then area vector also rotates. So the angle between field area changes. So what is the angle? 60 degrees. Now B pi r square by 2 cos 60. See the flux. Initially B pi r square. Finally B pi r square by 2. That means what? Flux is decreasing or increasing? Flux is decreases. So we can identify the direction of the induced current. See, this is in a decreasing flux. Flux decreases. Then induced current has to increase this flux. That's it. Induced current has to increase the flux or increase the field. How it is going to increase the field? Already the field is into the board. If you put arrow mark like this, again this also creates some inward field. So the field is increases. Now the direction of induced current is clear. The direction of induced current is clockwise. Okay. So direction of induced current is clockwise when it rotates through 60 degrees. Okay, with respect to the normal. Okay. Now here. So final flux we got it. And 60 degrees time they given. No? So we can write average induced EMF. I'm taking the magnitude. So we can write delta pi by delta t. D pi by dt or delta pi by delta t. Average induced EMF you can take delta pi by delta t. So this can be written as pi f minus pi I, and this is 0.2. Directly we can write, but see, average induced EMF pi f. So B pi r square by 2 minus B pi r square by 0.2. Okay, so this is B pi r square by 2. So B pi r square by 0.2. So we can write this is 10 5 by 4 we can write. Otherwise B pi r square 10 by 4 5 2 5 by 2 B pi r square. If they given field and radius, just substitute field and radius, you will get the answer. Okay. Now the required answer is 5 by 2 B pi r square, and direction of current in the loop is, keep in mind it is in clockwise direction, because once it rotates through 60 degrees, flux is decreasing. Just you verify, initial flux is B pi r square, next flux is B pi r square by 2, flux is decreasing. Okay, so as the flux decreasing, induced current has to increase this flux. So if I put arrow mark like this, then only induced current will increases the flux, increases the field, nothing but flux. So easy questions only these are. If it rotates some 180 degrees, this is 0, this is 180, then you will get double, 2 BA like that. So I'll give you one more question for getting some confidence. So you try this one. Next one is somewhat good question. So these are almost some basics and good questions. Now next one is somewhat better. So write the next question. Find induced EMF in a coil, sorry, in a loop or coil, that's not a problem. So let me write. Find induced EMF in a loop as shown in figure. In a loop as shown in figure, in loop has to rotate in half turn, loop has to rotate full turn, and we have to find charge flown in loop in half turn. So I am writing roughly. So target is to find out EMF in a loop in half turn, full turn, and charge flown in half turn. And loop rotates. Given this also, loop rotates with 600 RPM as shown in figure. Now I am going to draw everything. See, the field is given like this. I am giving the data here instead of writing the words. I am giving data itself here. So this is the field outside the given. So omega they given 600 RPM revolution per minute, and loop resistance. So the given quantities I am writing here. Loop resistance is given some value 2 ohm. Field is given 2 into 10 raised to minus 2 Tesla. Area of the loop is given 10 centimeter square. So I am writing data in brackets. So R is given, B is given, A is given, and this is the loop which is rotating with 600 revolution per minute. Okay. So this is the question. Think it. How to find this one? First, the loop has to rotate half turn. Next, full turn. Next, we have to find charge flown in half turn. Yeah, see the one. See, let me find first one for half turn. So initially the plane of the coil is perpendicular to the magnetic field. Field is outward. Magnetic field is outward. Magnetic field is outward towards you. Initially the plane of the coil is towards you like this. Okay. Half turn. Half turn means, see, initially the plane of the coil is looks like this, and this coil is rotating. Half turn means, see, this is half turn. See this side. So this is half turn. And full turn means again it has to come to the same place. Okay, so see, this is the starting phase. Okay, here I am putting some chalk piece. Here half turn means, see, that this chalk piece has to come this side, so that is half turn. Next, full turn means again this chalk piece has to come towards you. Full turn, one turn. Full turn means one turn. Now half turn means what is initial angle? Theta 0. Once it rotates half turn, how much theta? Is it 90 or 180? So don't think as a 90. So if it rotates like this, quadrant turn this is. If it rotates in this direction, 90. But see the way. Plane of the coil is normal to the magnetic field. Field is towards you. Now half turn means this is half turn. Next angle is, initial angle is theta 0. Final angle is theta 180. And full turn means 360. So keep in mind, don't think half turn nothing but something 90 degrees. See the axis. The loop is rotating about this axis. Half turn means this space has to go into the board, other side. So initial flux theta 0, final flux in that theta 180. Now target is to find out EMF. Let me write directly. So EMF nothing but delta pi by delta t. Okay. So time is not, I think time is also given. Let us check the question. Time is, yeah, time is not given, but here RPM is given. Now we can get the time. So EMF is equals to d pi b a cos pi f minus pi I, final flux minus initial flux. How much final flux? Cos 180, because the loop has to rotate like this. First in this way, next in this direction. Next, BA cos 0. Okay, take the magnitude delta t. So this is minus 1. So total is 2 because I am taking magnitude. EMF is equals to 2BA by time interval. Now we can get the time interval. 600 revolution per minute. We can get the for half turn how much the time taken by this one. See, otherwise we can use omega as 2 pi by t. You will get the answer, or you can convert RPM into some pi by 30 radian per second. You will get that also. Here, 600 revolution for how much time? 60 seconds per minute. Okay, for one revolution, how much time? 60 by 600 seconds. This is the easiest way. 60, 600, 1 by 10. So one revolution, how much time? 1 by 10 seconds. But we need half revolution. So half revolution. Okay, so half. And if it come again, then that is full turn. So for half revolution, 1 by 20 seconds. So this is the time. Now we will get delta t is how much? For half revolution 1 by 20. So 2BA by 1 by 20. So 40BA. 40B is given 2 into 10 raised to minus 2. Area mentioned 10 centimeter square. 10 raised to minus 2. You will get volt. So this is the induced EMF for how many turn? For a half turn. For half turn, so you will get some value. 4 2, this is 80, and 2 2 minus 4 minus 1. So 8 into 10 raised to minus 2 volt. So this is the induced EMF for a half turn. Now let us expect the full turn. See, this is rotated like this. Again, full turn means, see, this is half, again full. For full turn, initial angle, final angles are same. Initially 0 degrees, finally 0 degrees. So for full turn, flux, there is no change in flux. So if there is no change in flux, there is no induced EMF. So EMF is 0 when loop takes a full turn. Okay, if it takes 1.5 turn, 2.5 turn, just you substitute the values, you will get the answers. So for full turn, EMF is 0. And charge flown in the loop for half turn. Charge flown, just to recall the previous one. Charge flown, we know pi by delta pi by r. Just to recall the formula. Charge flown is delta pi by r. So how much the delta pi? Delta pi means, so you know, so dq is equals to, or delta q is equals to delta pi how much now? 2BA by resistance. So 2BA by resistance is clear. Okay, so charge flown you will get. So recall the charge formula. charge we can write it as delta pi by r, and delta pi we have pi f minus pi I, and resistance is mentioned already 2 ohm. Substitute the values, we will get the charge flowed in half turn. Half turn means this one. Okay. Now let me give one more good question. See the next one. See one more. So let me write the question in a shortcut way. So find induced current and EMF in a coil. Find induced current, induced EMF in a coil at some time t as shown in figure. As shown in figure, and plot ET and IT curve, IT graph. So we have to plot a graph. So let me draw the diagram. So this is somewhat good question. Here this is rotating with the angular velocity given omega, radius is r, resistance is r ohm, and field is B, which is into the board. Yeah, see the target is we have to find induced current and induced EMF in a coil after some time, means at some time t as shown in figure. We have to plot EMF versus time and induced current versus time graph. Okay. See, anyhow this is some semicircular loop which is rotating with angular velocity omega. They given this one rotating about this point O. Okay, feel that point O is something fixed, and it, see at any instant of time, at any instant the loop enters, and maybe it covers like this. See, the loop enters like this. Maybe the new shape of the loop is looks like this. See, at any instant of time the loop enters in this direction. So this area is in magnetic field. See, only this region is in magnetic field. Okay, of course this is radius, this is radius. See, you will get a curve like this. After some interval of time, see the loop makes something angle theta, and see this is subjected to the inward field. This is r, and this is like a arc length. Arc length means r theta, and we can find the area, sector area. Okay, see, sector area is half r square theta, half into base into height, because small portion we can treat as a triangle, half into base into height. So area is very clear. So area is half into base into height. So how much the area? Half r square theta. Now we got the area. Once we got area, we can get the EMF and we can get induced current. So get the values first. So area is clear, and flux is flux. Okay, let me write in a general way. Flux is equals to minus d pi by dt. Okay, minus d by dt of BA cos 0, because the plane of the coil is normal to the magnetic field. The loop enters like this. The loop enters. So the plane of the coil is normal to the magnetic field. So theta becomes 0. BA. B anyhow constant. Okay. And d by dt area is, we can write half r square. Theta is nothing but omega t. Theta is nothing but omega t. Omega is equals to theta by t, omega angular velocity. So omega half r square omega t. Now we will get EMF is equals to minus b r square omega by 2. So we got the EMF. Okay, so you can take the magnitude, you will get b r square omega by 2. Okay, if you take the magnitude, b r square omega by 2. So this is the EMF. In the same way, we can get the induced current. So induced current is b r square omega by 2r. So I am taking the induced current. Okay, so induced current is b r square omega by 2r. See, this is the case when loop enters, and after some interval of time, at any instant, the current induced in the loop is b r square omega by 2r, and EMF is b r square omega by 2. But our target is to plot graph of ET, IT. Okay. See, first identify the direction of the induced current. Identify the direction of the induced current. Okay. See, the loop enters like this. Once it enters, what is increasing here? If the loop enters, the area of this region is increasing. Area is increasing. As area changes, magnetic flux changes, because flux nothing but BA. So once it enters, area increase. So as area increase initially, field increase, nothing but, so flux increase. So this is in a increasing flux. Now induced current has to decrease that flux, because this is an increasing flux. Then induced current has to oppose that. So the direction of induced current is anti-clockwise direction. Initially the direction of the induced current is what direction? Anti-clockwise direction. So I am going to take anti-clockwise direction as a positive in a graph that I will draw later. So the direction of induced current is anti-clockwise. And once this loop, okay, let us suppose this is the semicircular wire. Once it enters like this, if it is looks like this, so almost anti-clockwise. Once it come out, once the loop will come out, then what is decreases? Area decreases. Okay, area decreases. See, initially looks like this. If it is enters half part, t by 2 time, okay, t by 2 time, so half part, half time period. And see, once it come out after t by 2, if it is come out, then the flux decreases. As the flux decrease, then the direction of induced current is clockwise direction. Okay, so the direction of induced current is clockwise. See the next situation. See the next situation is, okay, first it enters, flux increases. Once it is completely inside the field, EMF, flux, everything is zero. If it is come out, if this part is come out, okay, so the next situation, okay, let me draw some different positions In the next situation, the diagram looks like this. Only this part is occupied. Again, the direction is what? Anti-clockwise. Anti-clockwise. In the next situation, just you imagine correctly. Next, it will comes like this. Okay, I next see here also anti-clockwise, and the next situation see the line, see the direction. Here it is rotating like this, so it will come out. It will come out means the flux decreases. As flux decreases, field decreases, then induced current direction will be changes. Induced current is clockwise. Starting up to some interval of time, it is anti-clockwise direction. Next, clockwise directions. Okay, so by using this, let us plot a graph. E versus T. EMF 0, and after half term T by 2 means after half time period. Okay, so up to T by 2, EMF is constant. Next, T by 2 to T, EMF is like this. Next, T to 3T by 2, see, you will get a graph like this. In the same manner, see, this will use maximum EMF, nothing but B R square omega by 2. In the same manner, you will get a current also the same. See, I am taking anti-clockwise as positive in a graph, clockwise as a negative. So this is I versus T. T by 2, T. You will get the graph in that manner. See, once it enters up to T by 2 times, the flux is increasing and it is in anti-clockwise direction. That's why I am taking anti-clockwise is positive. Okay, and once after T by 2 time, if it come out from T by 2 to T, okay, if it come out, then flux decreases, so direction of induced current changes. So that's why I taken that negative means that clockwise current I have taken in negative. Okay, clockwise I have taken negative, then we will get a graph in that manner. Okay, okay, you can draw some complete diagrams also. Here initially increases and anti-clockwise current, next decreases clockwise current. Okay, let us try one more same type of question. You try the next one, I will give the question and I will give the diagram. So these type of questions are important for JEE and other levels. So practice these type of things. See, if it enters, flux increases. So induced current is anti-clockwise. So I have taken positive. If it come out, flux decreases. Induced current is clockwise. So I have taken negative. So based on that, I have drawn a graph. Okay. Here I am taking anti-clockwise as a positive, clockwise as a negative. Because anti-clockwise is like this. Outward I have taken positive. Clockwise, inward, negative, like that. You try one more same question. So the question pattern is same. Find induced current and EMF at any time as shown in figure and plot ET, IT curve. Now I am going to draw the diagram. So the diagram looks like this. You try this. So R is radius, capital R is resistance. Yeah, it's rotating with an angular velocity omega. Magnetic field is out of the paper, out of the board. So the coil rotates with an angular velocity omega. At any instant, the coil maybe turns through some angle theta. See, after some time, maybe this coil turns some angle. Some angle is, let us consider theta. Okay, it rotates some angle, some theta. Theta becomes omega t. So, after some time, the flux we can write it as BA cos theta. And the flux is clear BA cos of omega t. And EMF we can write it as d pi by dt. So d by dt of BA cos omega t, then apply the derivative. So you will get BA omega sin omega t. Okay, so BA omega sin omega t. And this BA omega we can replace with one more name E naught sin omega t, where this E naught is called as something EMF that is called as peak EMF, peak voltage, peak EMF, and this will come in the next continuation. Actually, this is called as principle of some generator, AC generator. Okay, principle of AC generator, BA omega. If any n turn is given, BAN omega is the some principle of AC generator. In the same manner, we can find current. Current nothing but EMF by resistance. So I is equals to E naught by R sin omega t. So we can write E naught by R. We can replace with some I naught. I naught is peak current, maximum current. So sin omega t. So based on this t means time intervals, we will get graph. Otherwise, see, just it is a sine function, this is also a sine function. Just you plot a sine graph. Directly we can plot a graph. See, EMF graph is looks like this. Current also the same. 0, t by 2, t, 3t by 2, t by 2, t, 3t by 2. Just you verify by substituting t by 2 here. Just you substitute t by 2 in anywhere. E is equals to E naught sin omega. Omega is clear, 2 pi by t, omega. Small t, let me substitute t by 2. T 2 2 sin pi 0. So EMF is 0. In the same manner, just substitute t, again you will get 0. Okay, so this is some other value. T by 4, just you substitute, you will get it. At a t by 2, current is 0, EMF is 0. At a t, current EMF becomes 0, 3t by 2, and so on. So simply these are some sine functions, so we can expect directly sine graphs. Let me give one more question. Next also good question. Next I will continue motional EMF, and there are plenty of applications related to motional EMF. So that also I am going to cover now. So before that, let me solve one more problem. After that, we will enter into the motional EMF. So write down this question also. So write down. So the magnetic flux through a stationary loop, through a stationary loop with resistance R, varies with time interval tau is given is pi is equals to the given this one a small t tau t. Find the amount of heat. Find the amount of heat. See, they are asking heat generated in the loop. Heat generated in the loop during that time. During that time. So I written roughly. They are asking to find heat generated. So I hope that you have remembered some formula from current electricity. Heat dissipation, heat generated heat. Joules heat you remembered, I think. Joules heat like I square RT. Joules heat energy. Energy nothing but work nothing but VQ. V nothing but IR. Q nothing but IT. Then I square RT, heat. Okay, you know already when current flows through the resistance, then the resistor gets heated up. So some electrical energy converted into heat energy. You know these things like Joules heat. Yeah. See the given flux as this much. They are asking to find heat generated in the loop at that time. That time means tau time. Okay. So first you find the flux. Sorry, flux is given already. Then by using flux you find the EMF. EMF nothing but voltage. So EMF nothing but d pi by dt. So d by dt of at tau minus t. So EMF is equals to d by dt of a t tau a t square. Then EMF is clear. It is a tau to at. So this is the EMF a tau minus to at. Target is to find out heat generated in that loop. Okay. Here the resistance is varies, so heat is generated. Now target is to find out heat generated. I think you remembered heat energy nothing but I square RT. Actually heat nothing but W nothing but H, otherwise W nothing but QV. Q IT, this is IR I square RT. Okay, now we can write DH is equals to I square R dt. So in the same way, we can write heat generated in a particular time interval tau. We can write as integration of dH 0 to tau I square R dt. I nothing but EMF. Okay, I square R dt. So this becomes H. I nothing but 0 to tau E square by R square R dt. So we get h is equals to integration of 0 to tau e square by r dt. So use this formula to get the heat generated. So E anyhow we got it. H is equals to 1 by r integration of 0 to tau e square. A tau, A you write outside, tau minus 2t whole square. R is taken already out. So do some simple integrations, you will get the answers. So A by R, this is, sorry, dt is there. 0 to tau, split up this one, yes, A minus B whole square. Tau square dt plus 0 to tau 4t square dt minus 0 to tau 2ab. So 2, so this is 4t tau dt. Now h is equals to a by r. Tau square is a constant, you write outside, and dt is t, and after the limits tau you will get tau cube. Check it. This is t square, derivative is integration of t square is t cube by 3, 4 you write outside, apply the limits, okay, tau cube by 3 minus 4 you write outside, tau you write outside, t dt, t square by 2, tau square by 2, so this is 2. Now h is equals to a by r, 3 tau cube everywhere constant, so let me write 3 tau cube, 4 tau cube, 2 3, this is 6 tau cube. So 7, this is heat, we can write it as a 7 6 a tau cube by 3r. So verify the integration. I hope that you know integration process. So I am writing directly here now. So substitute the integrations formulas, you will get the answers here. So split up a minus b, and a square plus b square minus 2ab. So you know these integrations, and finally we will get a tau cube by 3r.